And Tim, thank you for getting the Navy League into this game for this presentation here this afternoon. And this is a milestone in our efforts to get this issue out before the public. I want to say just a couple of things. Steve Xenakis is an adherent to the old Washington statement that a briefing in Washington without numbers is like a garden without flowers. I've heard him say it many times. Let me give you some idea of the proportion of the TBI problem. The Army itself will own up to about 216,000 that have been diagnosed with TBI. They don't keep numbers on where they went, how many have been discharged, how many were in treatment, how many received successful treatment. The recent numbers from Afghanistan, and that's the last area of live combat, indicate that over 74% of the casualties are being caused by the so-called IED, the improvised explosive device. Now that device is, Clausewitz is up there in the clouds somewhere just laughing himself to death. Here is an explosive that can be assembled by anyone. Don't need an education at all, has nothing to do with physics. It's mixing fertilizer and fuel oil. The completed number costs less than $50. You can get any jobless Afghan, well not any, but let's say, you can find a number of eager Afghans who will take that device and put it wherever you want it. The going rate is about $23. Okay, so here is the world's mightiest nation losing up to 75% of its casualties in one battle area from one weapon that is not even militarily deployed. It's terrorist deployed. Okay? So one wonders at that point when we would wake up. Now the technology side of the house has not been sleeping. We have seen 4 different families of armored vehicles. We have invested over $10 billion in successive armored vehicles in the battle areas to protect our troops. DARPA, the Defense Advanced Projects Agency, has built for the amputee who has lost his hand, a $100 million project to build a hand that nearly totally replicates the ability of the hand and is powered by a chip in the brain. That is up now for FDA approval. Across there was a whole agency put together called JIADO, the Joint IED Detection and Destruction Office. They have gone through about 5 or 6 billion trying to detect these things, etc. The former commander, General Oates, will be here later in the afternoon. We found in his mission that he was also allowed to mitigate the effects of IEDs. And he tried to bring a program up under his program and was stonewalled in the Department of Defense. So the point is that we may have as many as 600,000 to 650,000 of these individuals. Early in the realization that the weapon was here, and when people saw the blast injuries coming in, I say people there, Walter Reed, they took to looking through the person's record to see if they could find evidence of a personality disorder. And if they could find that, the doctrine was that that makes the person more susceptible to a brain injury, and therefore we don't have to treat them. Now, Senator Kit Bond of Missouri found out about that when there were about 20,000 of these individuals discharged. Out of the Army, general discharge, no benefits. But that soldier had no way to show the Veterans Administration that he was entitled to benefits. The only point I want to make is a very quick point. And that is that the commands appear to know exactly what they're doing. There has been no research and development money for hyperbaric oxygen given out by the Army, who is the executive agency. But if you look carefully, you will see they have also fenced out a number of ancillary treatments that are going to turn out to go well with hyperbaric and other treatments. There has not been, that I have been able to find, a single project funded that aims at brain injury. So it is a problem very deeply founded. I don't think, I've talked to over 300 congressional offices. I don't believe they understand the depth of this experience for the individuals. These soldiers are all volunteers, remember. They all volunteered to go and stand up for us in foreign countries. The risk they took came true for them. The doctors are not willing to take any even small risks, either to treat soldiers on the basis of their needs. The compassionate treatment doctrine, which has been used in field medicine in the Army forever, where is it? Now, they admitted 4 years ago, when we put the pressure on them, that this was a safe treatment. If it's safe, you've heard the risk that the injured are being exposed to. Why not shift the risk in his direction for a little bit? Okay, we have not been able to get anywhere. We do know that within the VA there was one initiative to treat some of their patients with hyperbaric oxygen, again on a compassionate basis, and it was turned down. What more compassionate patient could you find? What more compassionate case than an individual who has lost 1, 2, 3 limbs? Think of the adjustments in his life, and he is being left with a catastrophic adjustment to make in his brain without treatment. So the urgency is great. It's every bit as great as these distinguished people are telling you. I just want to say one more thing. There are a group of us that have been working this for about 2.5 to 3 years. And I have never been more proud of a group that I've worked with than the people at this table who have stood up day and night, really working and trying to put this across. And we genuinely appreciate your being here and look forward to working with you on this effort.